Hey everybody, my name is Jay Gordon. Welcome back to the Azure Cosmos DB Global User Group. It is September. Wow, the summer went by way too fast for me. I am still kind of recovering from a very fun summer. Got to take some amazing trips. Did some real fun stuff, and I can't begin to tell you that I'm really looking forward to Halloween season coming up. We've got that very, very soon here. And more than anything, I'm really also excited for Microsoft Ignite. That's coming in November, so be prepared. We're going to get started in just a minute, but I want to remind you all of a few things. And I have some help from my friend Anna from the Reactor, who's just going to do a little housekeeping. So let's take a listen.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for our next live session. My name is Anna. I'm a producer for Reactor, joining you from Redmond, Washington. Before we start, I do have some quick housekeeping. Please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We seek to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, we ask that you please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional and on topic. Keep an eye on that chat. We'll be dropping helpful links and checking for questions for our presenters to answer live. Our session is being recorded. It will be available to view on demand right here on the Reactor YouTube channel. With that, I'll turn it back to Jay. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Anna. You are the best. We love the Microsoft Reactor. Make sure you go, you spend some time, find out about all of the other things that they do. You can go down to aka.ms/reactor. It's right down there. I'll put it in the chat in a little bit. Before we bring in our guests, a cute little video that came out recently. Let's take a look at it.
If you're diving into Azure Cosmos DB, you absolutely need to check out the Azure Cosmos DB Samples Gallery. It's a treasure trove of resources that can supercharge your development journey. You'll find everything from blogs and presentations to detailed documentation and engaging videos. Whether you're coding in .NET, Go, Java, JavaScript, Python, or any popular language, there are samples tailored just for you. And if you're curious about generative AI, the gallery has you covered with tons of material on agents, interactive chat, MCP, and the RAG pattern. This is your go-to source for patterns and content that can help you harness the full power of Azure Cosmos DB. So dive in and explore all the amazing resources waiting for you.
I like that. And it's just a little thing to get you started. All right. We've got so much more to do today. I've got an amazing guest, and we're going to be talking more AI. We are all talking about AI. We're talking about it when it comes to building our applications. We're talking about it about things like Microsoft Fabric. There's so many things around AI right now. And I needed someone special, someone that's been doing amazing things in this part of our technology world that's also really, really great. And that person is Farah Abdou. Farah, make sure you unmute yourself. Hi, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, Jay. Hi, everyone. I'm good, actually.
So why don't you let everybody know, I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I love being in New York City. It's just me. It's my heart. It's my love. Tell everybody where you're from, Farah.
I'm based on Egypt right now. It's 9 p.m. right here. So good night to everyone. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for giving us some of your evening. I know I appreciate it. I know our audience does. And I want to remind my audience that you can find out so much great stuff about Farah by just going to her LinkedIn. It is right there below. I'll also be putting it in the chat. You can go, you can find more information about how cool Farah is, and also get information about today's session, ask some questions. You may not be sure about something. You may not get a question answered. You may get the amazing GitHub repo. Oh, there's a link for the GitHub repo. You'll see why that's important today. And you can always take a look at the GitHub repo if you've got some questions. I know Farah will be able to help you out. But Farah, before we jump in, first of all, you are an AI engineer, is that right? Or ML engineer with Sparkable?
Yeah, working with Sparkable as an ML engineer, but basically I'm an AI engineer.
Fantastic. it takes a lot to be that person right now. And the world is filled with so many AI engineers, so many people that are just making use of this technology. How did you get to that part? Like I personally, like you've told me your story, but someone may be watching this is the first time they've met you. So tell me a little bit about how you became an AI engineer and ended up at this part of your career.
Yeah, starting with my interest in how to make things work smarter, like making chatbots, making intelligent systems, build smarter tools. This interested me, so this is how I jumped into the AI field. It was a lot of years ago, but then I have been specialized in the NLP field, like specialized in how chatbots were built, how we can improve them, how we can build AI agents, how we can connect them to databases, how to be or to do some benefits to the society with our knowledge. So this is how I have become here.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, before we jump into your session, let's say some hellos to people that are watching. I know that they're super excited to see everything you have to show them. There's Robbie from San Diego, California. We've got Aquarist123 from East Anglia in England. We've got Huma, hi. Thank you for watching all the way from Canada. We've got Mohammed from Qatar. Hi, welcome, Mohammed. Thank you for joining us. And then a little bit more local for me, at least, Jonathan. He is dialing in today from Chicago. So we've got a global audience. We've even got our friend Gabor from Budapest. So we've got, I'll give you one more person, Dinesh from Germany. So Farah, we're a global session today. We've got people from all over this thing, and they want to hear what you have to say. So with that, Farah, why don't you get your presentation ready? I'll go ahead and bring that up, and then I'm going to give you the floor. We're going to be here for the next hour or so. Within that, so we'll be here. It's 2:07 here. We'll be here till 3. So about an hour. Please, while you're watching, ask your questions. Put them in the chat. We'll also drop some links, all that stuff, and we'll get to your questions at the end of the session. So please put your questions in the chat. I will make sure this wonderful person that is going to be doing this presentation will be able to help with that. So Farah, I'm going to bring up the presentation now, and then I'm going to hand you the floor. Everybody, let's be respectful in the chat. Let's ask questions, and more than anything, let's learn something from Farah today. Thanks, Farah. Why don't you get started?
Thanks, Jay. All right, let's start, everyone. So today we are basically talking about building scalable LLM evaluation pipelines, and we are using Azure Cosmos DB for this. Basically, I will be focusing on the RAG evaluation, focusing on the semantic caching, and the scalable architecture. All right. So let's start by the agenda for today. So this is a hands-on session. We will start with some introduction, some fundamental knowledge, some system architecture deep dive. I will go through some walkthrough implementation. You will see the code by yourself, and we will do some hands-on exercise. I will talk about some advanced and scaling topics, and then we will jump into the Q&A at the end of the session. So our objective today is that you will be able to understand how the LLM evaluation metrics uh, work, how we can use them in our production environments, how we can use Azure Cosmos DB to build the scalable evaluation pipelines. We also know how to explore the multi-metric evaluation approaches like the RAGs and the ROG and some semantic similarity. We will have also some hands-on experience actually with some real-world pipeline with some examples, and you will see it yourself. So here we will need this for our session. You will need some credits for your subscription. We will need Azure OpenAI service, and we'll use the API. and we will need the Azure Cosmos DB. We will use mainly the NoSQL API. I need your environment to be equipment with Python 3.8. Anything like newer than that, it's okay. I need the packages Azure Cosmos, OpenAI, Pandas, NumPy, NLTK, the score. All of these it will be needed in our code. The code editor is you can specify yourself by yourself. It's not a big problem. You can use VS Code, PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, Cursor, anything. And of course, you will need to be familiar with Python. You will need to be familiar with the RAG concepts and LLMs and evaluation fundamentals, because we will not talk about this too much. We'll jump into our topic. So, to give an intro, why the evaluation matters. Like, we have our businesses. We need to make decisions. And the LLM's outputs directly impact us. And our customers' experiences also will be impacted. We have also critical operations that we need to avoid like messing with it. We need to have our organization risk like not paused. We will need to deliver our content to our end user successfully. So that's why we need the evaluation. Our key challenges for the evaluation is that you will notice that too much. Like if you give the LLM a prompt, you'll find that it gives you the output that is different every time, right? So we don't need to have this every time. This is unpredictable. So this is one of the challenges. We have the hallucinations also, like how it is detecting the factual inaccuracies. We need also to measure the accuracy, the relevance, the coherence. All of these needed to be measured. We need our production evaluation to be scaled, right? So, after that, we can notice that the traditional metrics like Pew or Rouge alone are insufficient for our RAS system. We need some specialized evaluation approaches. That's why we are here. If any of you don't know about RAG, so it's a retrieval augmented generation. The user have a query, a question, or a request. It give it to the LLM. The LLM retrieve or find what is need from the relevant documents or context. Then it will generate the answer from the context. So we have a document that is stored somewhere, a database or something, and the RAG is how we deal with this. So RAG will reduce hallucination by grounding in facts. It provides the up-to-date information beyond our training data, and it enables some domain-specific knowledge without any full retraining. And what the evaluation need is the retrieval accuracy and relevance, the answer faithfulness to retrieve the context, of course, and the response quality. So, as I have mentioned, we will not stop at the metrics like Pew or Roach. We need to go after that. The traditional metrics fall short for the RAS systems that require more context-aware evaluation. As we can see, let's talk more about Roach and uh, Pew, for example. They're focused on the text similarity, right? But they miss some factual accuracy and context relevance. And we have perplexity also, which is measuring the statistical likelihood of the text, but not its correctness or usefulness. So the key limitation, as you can see, is that there is no factual accuracy assessment, the context utilization is not measured, and the retrieval quality is ignored. The RAG specific metric, we will talk more about the faithfulness today, measure if the responses are grounded in retrieved context. So we can prevent the hallucinations actually, and we can see that a lot of companies now make some researches about the hallucination, how we can decrease its impact. So it's important to know about these metrics. The relevance metrics, like evaluating both the answer relevancy to the query and the context relevancy to the information that I need. This is so important. And this is how RAG can be important for us or our tool, for example. And also the context quality. So we measure the precision and the recall. And this is a very fundamental thing that we need in our metric. So mainly our pipeline will use the RAG-AS framework. And this is to measure these specialized metrics automatically and at scale. So what is the RAG-AS evaluation framework? We have a query, a context, then the answer. So let's focus on the context relevancy first. This is how relevant the retrieved context is to the query. It's relevant or not, how it is relevant to it. Then the precision, the context precision. So it's a proportional of the relevant retrieved passages. We have also the recall. So the context recall is about coverage of the information needed for the answer. The faithfulness here is so important as it's the answer's grounding in the retrieved context. And at last we have the answer relevancy. This is how well the answer addresses the query. So this is a comprehensive evaluation framework. It is specifically designed for the RAG system. And of course, some quick intro about Azure Cosmos DB. So Azure Cosmos DB is a fully managed global distributed NoSQL service or database service, which is designed for scalable applications. That's why we are using it today. We need a scalable applications. And it is a global distribution. It's a multi-model with a lot of databases and the elastic scalability of it and SLA package. The most question that you can need to ask and you need us to answer is why Cosmos DB for ML and evaluation pipelines. So I have tried a lot of databases actually. So it have a seamless handling of JSON documents for the ML metrics. We will see it by ourselves today. And we have fast queries that is across large evaluation datasets. The transactional patch operations for efficient data processing, and the built-in TTL support for semantic caching. So, backing to the point, why Cosmos DB, why Azure Cosmos DB for the LLM evaluation, this is because it provides some critical capabilities for building scalable LLM evaluation pipelines. So, for example, the unlimited scalability. So we can handle millions of evaluation records. And also the semantic caching. So we have the TTL that is support reduces the embedding API costs and improve the response time. The global distribution, so for low latency evaluation across the regions with multi-master replication, also the transactional batch operation, so it can be efficient processing for some evaluation workloads at scale, and the time series analysis. So we can track the evaluation metrics over time, and we have a lot of model versions, for example, we can track the evaluation metrics over them also. So in our implementation today, we mainly will use some dedicated containers for the evaluation and semantic cache with some optimized partition keys, and we will see this. So let's talk quick about that semantic caching with Scalable DB. Why the caching matters for LLM evaluation? Why we talk about this? Because it reduces the redundant API calls, it lowers the cost, it is dramatically improve the response times for similar evaluation queries. We have the vector search and the traditional key value. What is the difference? The traditional cache require exact match, right? But the semantic cache uses the vector similarity, so it can find some close enough results. And you will see also how that would be happen. Like it need to understand what I'm saying, not just the exact match. This is so important. We also have the fast hash lookups, which is combined with similarity threshold, offer both the speed and semantic flexibility. This is our system design for today. I will go through it quickly and you will see it implemented. So starting, we have a query and context. Okay, and I give it an example. And then we have the embedding, which will be the Azure OpenAI with semantic cache. We have then the evaluation, which is a multi-metric assessment. Then the storage, which is Cosmos DB. The Azure OpenAI here is text embedding for semantic analysis, and the GPT models for answer generation. And also it cache embeddings to reduce API calls. The evaluation engine that we have is the Rajas, which is the faithfulness and the relevancy. We have the root scores for the text comparison. We will see the semantic similarity for context and answer. Azure Cosmos DB will be used here for as an evaluation result container and the semantic cache container. So we will have these two containers. Each of them will have a partition key. So for the evaluation result, I have both the partition key is query ID. The semantic cache container, I have both the cache ID. Then we have the reporting, which is a very important part of our pipeline. So here we will have some comprehensive summary reports and metric aggregation analysis, which you can use after that. And also you can export your data after that, what you have got so far, as a CSV or JSON or whatever. So the async also batch processing is efficiently process multiple evaluation requests in parallel with error handling and backup strategies. So this is our end-to-end architecture for today, or for our scalable LLM evaluation with Azure Cosmos DB. This will be part of our code today, implementation today, which is the core classes. We will have mainly three classes. The evaluation config, this will be the centralized configuration data class for all the settings. You will find in it the Azure OpenAI credentials, the Cosmos DB endpoint, the model parameter, the cache setting, and evaluation threshold. We will then have the modern RAG evaluator, which is the main orchestrator cloud that manages the metrics calculation, the semantic caching, the database interaction, the batch processing, and comprehensive reporting. The Cosmos DB container is two container types. We have evaluation for storing the assessment results, and you will have also the semantic cache for efficient embedding, storage, and retrieval. All right, so we can start. Have a look first at what we have so far. We here have a comprehensive metric suite for what we are going to have, like the faithfulness, the answer relevancy, the context precision and recall, and the root scores. You will find that I have used the root 1 for the unigram, the root 2 with bigram, the root L, which is for the common or the longest common subsequence, right? So let's start with this. First of all, this is the evaluation config. This one is the main part for our Azure Cosmos DB configuration, the Azure OpenAI configuration, the LLM parameters, the pipeline configuration itself. We have here some key parameter groups, as we can see. And this data class, the evaluation config, is centralized all the setting. It makes it easy to modify the behavior without changing the code. So if you notice right here in the evaluation config, we have the database name. I have named it the LLM evaluation, the container named the evaluations, and the cache container is the semantic cache. Second, we have the modern RAG evaluator class, and this is the mere orchestrator for evaluation with multiple metrics, and also the async batch processing. As you can see, we have some key evaluation methods. For example, we have the retrieval evaluation for evaluating how efficiently the documents are retrieved using the semantic similarity, precision, and recall metrics as well. We have generation evaluation, which is assesses the LLM generation answer to relevance for relevance to queries and coherence and length metrics. And the Rajas metric calculation, which is specialized. It will have metrics like faithfulness, answer relevancy, context precision or recall, and has sync batch processing, which enables the parallel evaluation of multiple queries with error isolation. Right? So let's have a look at this before jumping into the hands-on. This is some of the best practice and troubleshooting. So best practice for your API key is to store them in your .env file, for example, and we have also the Azure Key Vault, and you need to use managed identities. We have also to configure the appropriate RUs based on the evaluation volume and adjust your partition key based on what you have written in your code. Also track the hitness ratios and adjust the similarity threshold accordingly. You need also to track the model versions and evaluation metrics over time for the A/B testing. Some troubleshooting, if you have any problems with Cosmos DB, like you need to increase you will need to increase, for example, some RUs allocations if you receive some errors, and you can adjust the batch size and add more async workers for the parallel processing. You can process larger databases in smaller chunks and implement some proper garbage collection and implement the token bucket rate limiting and monitor the users codes for your Azure OpenAI. And make sure to check this uh, every time. So I will just go now to our next screen. Right. I'll jump into my Azure account. All right. So this is my Azure AI Foundry, right? You will find that you have here a lot of model catalog. If you jump to the deployment right here, it's clear. You'll find that you have model names that we have just seen. You can choose from them what you need. So for example, you just need to say like deploy model and deploy, for example, a base model or a fine-tuned model as you like. Then I have choose, for example, here the GPT-4 and the text embedding 3 large for our work today. Check that the state is succeeded and the model version. You will need this, and also you make sure that you have the deployment tab is what you need, like global standard. Then make sure that the name of it you have the name correctly because we will need to use it in our code. So let's have a look first also at our Cosmos DB. So this is my data explorer at my Azure Cosmos DB account. I have created here my database correctly. I have my containers right here. It's all empty. Like I have semantic search, I have evaluations. They don't have anything, right? You can like delete the container. You can change the name. It's up to you, of course. But I will stuck with these names for our demo. If we jump it into our code, now we pass through quickly our classes. But the thing that I need you to notice is that I have created some UI designs with the rich CLI imports. So we will have like a CLI, not just some evaluation pipeline. It will look cool, so we just need to use Reg for now. I have downloaded the required NLTK data. I have my variables right here. It's in my env file. This class I have explained in the presentation so far, like we have the database name, the container name, and the cache container name. And then I have a class for the modern CLI logger. I make it like if it succeed, warning, error, any of these parts. We have the hash text, the cache. You will find the full code on the repo. You can have a look at, but let's jump into the most important parts. Like, for example, we have here the modern RAG evaluator class that we have talked about also in the presentation. It initialized here the Cosmos DB, and then we have to set up the semantic cache, set up the evaluation database, calculate the retrieval metric, and we have here the matrix itself calculated. Like we have the precision at K, the recall at K, and the F1 score at K. So if it's the first time to you to hear about this, just like search for this precision, and you'll find at K, for example, and recall at K, and F1 score at K. Okay, so these are our metrics today. So let's say we have here wrote all the calculations for the recall precision and F1 score. And I have here the similarities and calculated all of these and have the average of the semantic similarity, the maximum, the minimum, all right? Then I have to calculate the generation metric and the faithfulness, of course, it's right here, and the relevancy of the sentence count, and calculate some Rajas metrics. We have here the context relevancy, the context precision, the faithfulness more right here, and the context recall. So all of these will be calculated right here in this class, the modern RAG evaluator. The scores are for the ROG, like we have some scores, the ROG F1, the ROG 2, for example, the L. It depends on what you are measuring. And here we are evaluating the RAG responses. So we just take what we have calculated so far and just evaluating the RAG responses by it. Like you can see it, right? We have here the evaluation result. We have the query ID, the query itself, retrieve the context, generated answer, expected answer, all of this right here. This is what we will be evaluating. We have the timestamp, retrieval metric, generation metric, faithfulness, answer relevancy, context precision, context recall, context relevancy, roach scores, all of this you will be seeing. Then I have here to store the evaluation result, and we have the patch evaluator. All of this will be right here and reflecting in our database after that. Then we have some displays for the result table. I have created a CLI, so you will find that we have a lot of things that's related to the CLI itself. This is the display ones for the dashboard for the metrics. And the most important thing, let's come down here, all of these for the CLI. You can skip this if you don't need it. I have created a sample evaluation data tool, so it would not take a lot of time to process a PDF, but you can, of course, attach a PDF and try it. I have put a query ID, a query, and a retrieved context, expected answer, and relevant documents. Okay, I have put a lot of, like I think three, the one Q1, Q2, and Q3. Yes, and there's different. One about machine learning, one about Cosmos DB, and one about the cloud computing. Right? So it's done right here. Just some display for the welcome panel and some CLI work. But here we have our evaluation configurations. You can check this. You need to make sure that you take the same names correctly. And now let's run and see what we will have. All right, so here we go. We have our CLI start working. With my default configuration, yes, I have all my keys. You can see that it say like my endpoint, my embedding, the model, the LLM model, the database name, the container, the cache container, my temperature, my max token, and the batch size. Then I have, let me make it this bigger. Then I have my RAG evaluator, right? So I have to make sure that my Azure OpenAI client is initialized correctly, Cosmos DB is initialized correctly, all is done, all right. So let's see. I have implemented a lot of ways, like the data source collection or selection. It can be from my sample data, the three queries that we have just had a look at. You can load from a JSON file, you can load from a CSV file, you can manually entering it. So let's say one. So it will just work on the sample data or the three queries that we have. So let's give it some time. It's just starting evaluating it, and it will be seeing what will happen. So until this, we can jump again to our evaluation. Let's refresh and wait until it finished. Then you will see how it is different. Let's check again. I think it may be, yeah, most of it finished. After that, it will be reflected to my database. Let's make it. We are in query 3 now. Right. Great. Let's go first to say our elevator. Let's see. All right. So we have here our evaluations with query IDs. Let's check the first one. Right. So if we check this, you will find that we have our query one, and the query is specified, the retrieved context, the generated answer, the expected one, my timestamp, and you can find all the metrics, right? We have here all the metrics that we have. The faithfulness, for example, is 0.9. Wow, that's so great. And now we have the rows, the context recall, the precision, all of these. So you can find all of these metrics. You can add more, of course. Let's check the semantic catch. So let's refresh. These are our IDs. So let's check a random one, for example. So here we have the text. It provides automatic scaling, multi-region replication, and etc. And these are all the vectors that help us in our vector search. Right. So we have the embedding. The semantic cache is ready. We have the queries are ready for evaluation. Let's have a look at our CLI again. All right. So this is how our CLI will look like. It will give us a result dashboard, and it will give us a detailed result for what happened in my RAG evaluation result. You can see like we have the queries, the faithfulness, the answer relevancy, the precision, the recall, and the ROHL. It's not so great, of course, it's just some samples. You can try it with a lot of more data, but the overall score is good, actually. 0.7 for the RAG score is not so bad. So the next step is see how I need to export this, right? If I need to export it as a CSV, a JSON, the pulse of them or not. Let's say like I need to make it as a JSON file. Let's say like okay, it's just exported as this one, and you can see what you have as a JSON file. So let's check this one. Yeah. So this is our JSON file, right? You can see it. We have just had the LLM evaluation pipeline completed using Azure Cosmos DB and Azure OpenAI. We have done this with a CLI, with semantic caching, and so fast, as you can see. It didn't take a lot of time. Let me go back. Yes. Thank you.
Farah, I just wanted to remind everybody that we are definitely looking forward to everyone sharing questions. It looks like we lost your presentation.
Yeah, I have. Well, that's actually I have finished, but I can share it again.
Okay, so you done with today as far as your presentation is concerned? Because I don't see your slide deck anymore or your share. Just making sure.
Yeah, we have finished. So let me like share it. Copy.
There we go.
Yeah, we have finished. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think we've reached the end of it. I want to take a moment and see if anyone in our audience has questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to ask. If not, I think what we'll do is we'll start wrapping up. So we'll give everybody just a minute or two. I wanted to share that we did have a poll today. We'd love it if you could take today's poll. Just gives us a little bit more information on what you are doing right now. We just want to know if you are using Azure Cosmos DB in your AI apps. And today we know that Farah, you are. And that's huge. We always appreciate. And I think we're just about ready to wrap up. So Farah, I want first of all everyone to know that you are on LinkedIn. They can find you right there. I gave you a little easy to use short link, aka.ms/Farah Abdou LinkedIn. Have you got any other great sessions coming up, talks, anything that you would want everyone to know about before we kind of close up?
For this month, no. Actually, this is my only session, so we can meet nearly. I think.
Wow. Well, I feel very lucky that I got to host. So Maxim says, I think validation makes sense as LLM models get updated every month. They really do. It's amazing how rapidly there are new models and models are updated. There's so much data constantly being collected and being used for AI applications. It's quite amazing. So thanks, Maxime. Farah, it's been really wonderful. So I'm gonna start doing what I like to do towards the end of a session. We're gonna play a little lovely music in the background, and we're gonna tell everybody that hopefully we'll be back very soon. We'll have another great session for you. We appreciate everybody being part of this, and we want to remind you that we would love you to share your opinion on today's session. Thank you to our friends from the Microsoft Reactor for partnering with the Azure Cosmos DB team. Please take a moment to share your opinion. We'd love to hear what you thought about today's session. We've got a couple more questions. Wow, they just poured in. Should we go with those? What do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can go to one.
Sure. So we have a question just to check. Was the query and document data ingested into Cosmos DB from the JSON files?
No, just a sample function, and we have passed it some examples.
Got it. All right, well, we've got a couple more questions. So, Pablo, hi, Farah. Is there other method to evaluate LLMs within Microsoft platform? If yes, what are the differences?
You can use a lot of APIs actually, like the same that I have used today, the OpenAI API and the Azure Cosmos DB API. I haven't tried another ways, but these are the most sufficient ways that I have used so far.
Cool. All right. So Tech with Kirk asks, why would you choose Cosmos over AI search for vector DB? So many options, it's overwhelming.
I love the vector search, and I have to choose Cosmos DB for this. Like it helped me if I'm using or making a big tool, for example, with a big database.
Great. We've got another question. You are popular today. Very popular. So Kristen asks, what are the standard scores for each of the elements that you reviewed? What is a good score?
Actually, for let's say for example, for the faithfulness, it will be 1, for example. So as soon as I go up and I have reached 1, so I'm good. And each of these have, of course, some of these skills, so we can check this out.
Great. And then I got one more question for you, unless another one rolls in. Use Raga's knowledge graph build for generating QA pairs.
No, actually, just using as a metric evaluation, just this.
Ooh, we've got another question. They just keep rolling in. Pablo wants to know, could we use this method if we have a combination of vector search and a knowledge graph for retrieval?
I haven't tried it with a knowledge graph for retrieval, but yeah, as soon as you are using the vector search, I think it will be good.
Wow. So this was this was a great session. I can't get over. I know I keep saying it, but it really was. So Farah, I hope we can do another one soon. You are such a great presenter, and you always have such amazing information to share. So let's go ahead and say goodbye to all of our friends who joined us today. Thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this session. Stay tuned. We'll have our next one announced very soon. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everyone.